process of a major glare, so let's get rid of them. This is going to be a whispered ramble, and I'm out here kind of late tonight. The camera doesn't do very well. The front camera doesn't do very well with this kind of lighting, with the dark lighting at nighttime. But I decided to film anyways. So I have like a big sort of lantern behind my phone, which could possibly help with a lighting. We'll see. Okay, so yes, this is going to be a whispered ramble. I'm at the park, as you can see behind me. And I'm just going to talk about anything and everything in this video. And we'll have like a little chit chat of the night. So I hope you guys are doing amazing today. I hope that everybody is having a great month and had great holidays. Christmas just passed and New Year's is coming up. My Christmas went by very smoothly. We had Christmas dinner with my family and exchanged presents, and everything was great. Now, normally I work on Christmas and New Year's and every holiday in the year because I work in the service industry, okay? I am a bartender. So, service industry, hospitality, we have to work holidays, and I'm sure, a lot of occupations do as well. But for that reason, holidays are not always a big deal for me. I like them and I like to celebrate them, of course, but they're not like a big deal because I'm not even used to having them in my life. I'm used to being at work and sort of still, having a good time celebrating with my customers and my coworkers. So, it's not like a bad thing. But I know that if you're not used to it, that could be sad, like for someone that really loves holidays and wants to have a big party and do all the functions, it could be kind of like upsetting if you have to work. Also, if you don't like your job, it could probably be upsetting as well. But I do like my job. I do like bartending. But yeah, of course, having a day off is great too. Any day off. But yeah, it went by smoothly, and now New Year's is coming up, and I think we're probably just doing the same thing for New Year's, just hanging out and eating and just enjoying each other's company. When I was younger, my family would do presents on New Year's, so we wouldn't exchange presents on Christmas. We would exchange them on New Year's, so it's always been a little confusing for me because it's just, I don't know, different cultures do different things. And so our Christmas was kind of celebrated on New Year's. And now I notice we're like exchanging presents on Christmas, so I don't know. Everything is just whatever it is every year. envision a long-term place where I have like complete stability. So I have planned for my future. I do put money into retirement and life insurance. So that's kind of a little thing that I have for myself and my family. Like, if anything were to happen, if there was some sort of like emergency. So I have Social Security, I have that. I have a tiny, tiny pension from my airport job, from that I will receive later on in life, in my 60s, I think. But I'm saying tiny pension because it's probably only going to be like a couple dollars, because I wasn't there for that long. I worked at the airport for 10 years, but because I was on disability like every year that I was there, not every year, but a lot of the years that I was there, and then we got laid off for 2020. I don't want to say that word, but because of that, it like cut our hours down, and they're counting like not the 10 years that you were there, that you were employed. They're counting like the hours that you worked. So when they counted the hours that I worked, I don't even know, went down to like 5 or 6 years instead of 10 years. You're like, wow, I worked for 10 years, but like they don't count it like that when they're dealing with your pension. Anyway, the reason I was on disability so much at that time was because I am asthmatic. Now, I am not a normal asthmatic person. I am in I think it's the 10 or 20 percentile of asthmatic people that have 100% clear lungs. So my lungs will be at 100%, but I still cannot breathe. And it is because they believe that there is like acid from my stomach dripping into my lungs at certain times when I'm having like an irritation, when I'm having an attack. So they've sent me to many pulmonary doctors, and the pulmonary doctors just like kick me out because they're like, we can't do anything, your lungs are clear. And I went to many, many doctors before they figured it out. And I finally found a specialist in Redondo Beach who has since retired at a young age, because, I'm sure it's a tough job, and he was very, very, a very, wanted doctor. Everybody wanted to go to him. So he was always booked, but the thing is, he always, always made time for me, and I loved that, obviously. But, he wrote a letter, sort of, that I keep always with me now to explain to other doctors my condition, because for some reason it's just some fascinating thing that nobody knows about. So I used to go on disability every year from like January to March. I would be like disabled because I would catch a cold, and then I wouldn't be able to recover from that cold, right? And most of the time I would catch it from work, because this airport is full of thousands of people. So I would get sick, and then I could not recover like a normal person. Like a normal person can recover in like 3 to 5 days, 2 weeks the most, but I could not recover in like 3 months. So me and this doctor, we would try different things to see what worked for me. He put me on like 10 different inhalers just to try the different ones each time. And every time I would get a new inhaler, it would work. But then the next year it wouldn't work. My body would get used to so much medication. So what ended up happening is he put me on a really, really strong prednisone, which is called like methylprednisone, something like that. So it's just a stronger version of prednisone. So he would put me on that. And that's a tether of like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 days, right? 3 or 4 rounds of this. Like, it is gonna go away. I can feel it, but I just need to stay on it. So some people need to stay on it for a little bit longer, and I guess I'm one of those people. So anyways, every year when this would happen to me, he would call in like 4 or 5 rounds so that I wouldn't have to keep calling him every week. So that started to work, and it was amazing and great and lovely. But obviously, yeah, you don't want to be on prednisone for long periods of time. It's not really a good idea. But again, you need to, talk to your doctor. So that worked for me for a little while. Now, every time I would go to the doctor, they would be like, "Where do you work?" Like the airport. Like, "You need to quit." So they would tell me that I need to quit, and I'm like, how can I quit this job? I get like free medical, free dental. It's a full-time job, I'm a bartender. Like, I get paid well. So I would never quit. I remember one doctor a long time ago too, when he found out like I had allergies, which I only had allergies to like grass pollen or something. He's like, "You need to move out of LA." Like, what? Okay. Yeah, anyways. So, I eventually did end up quitting my job. I just needed a break, and I quit. And what has happened since then is I've gotten on some vitamins, which are the Mary Ruth liquid vitamins. I can't really swallow pills too good, so I got these liquid Mary Ruth vitamins. You could just take 2 tablespoons in the morning, which is great because it's just liquid. And I've been taking Mary Ruth every single morning for a couple years now. So I also started taking Prilosec, which is for acid reflux. So I take a Prilosec every morning, and I take my Mary Ruths, and I take some other vitamins like vitamin D and B12 and stuff, vitamin C. But what has happened in these past couple years, because it's just been a couple years since I quit my job, what has happened is that I have not gone on disability. So the things that were happening to me with the inflammation and things like that before, they are not happening to me anymore. And I remember calling the pharmacy not too long ago. I think I was trying to refill like my rescue inhaler or something, and they were like, "We don't have any trace of your medication for the past 2 years." And I was like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, you haven't been here in 2 years." And I'm like, that is not normal, because I used to be so sick. I wasn't just like disabled January through March. I would get sick again. I would be sick like 5 times a year. But those would be like the main months. But anyways, yeah, and I said, "Oh, what?" And they're like, "Yeah, we delete the information after 2 years. So you haven't been here in 2 years, so we don't have anything like on file. Like, what was that medication? What is the medication that you need?" So I was like, I told her, like, "I've been taking Mary Ruth every morning." She's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's probably, helping you out." So it does work for me. If you're someone that gets sick a lot, you can see if it works for you. But I think Prilosec had a lot to do with it too. I did stop taking the Prilosec for like a year because it does make me gain a lot of weight very quickly. So that's the only problem. I love Prilosec. It makes me live like a normal life. And otherwise, I'm like kind of struggling every day if I don't take it. But the Mary Ruth is really good too. And I am someone that normally would get sick a lot, and now I don't. Not that I haven't got sick at all. I think I've got like a cold here and there, but I've recovered quickly from it, which is like, unfathomable to me. So, anyways, I'm not going to stop this routine because it's working so well for me. I did stop the Mary Ruth one time for a little bit, I think, because it's kind of expensive. stopped for a little bit, but then I realized that's not a good idea for me, and I started back on it. So I'm going to continue to take my Mary Ruth every morning and my Prilosec. I do have to work really hard on losing the weight that I'm gaining from that, but everybody's body is different. That's just what I've noticed is happening for me. I don't know. There's not like major side effects, but there's side effects with anything that you take. So you gotta kind of see what works for you. I have taken other acid reflux medication that I did not like, so you kind of also have to find what works for you in that sense too. I've taken a couple different kinds, but anyways, everything is fine now. Everything is good. And yeah, I don't get sick as often, knock on wood. Besides that, I have had a crazy month, but I'm not going to get into, I'm saying crazy month because I've had like some insane car problems, and actually my car wasn't even the problem. I've had like crazy issues with auto repair shops, and I went to like 4 different auto repair shops to fix my car, which was like an easy fix. And I'm not even a mechanic, okay, but it was an easy fix, and I figured it out myself. And after taking it to several auto repair shops who are supposed to be professional mechanics, and they're not just like random shops, these are like well-known shops, name brand, franchise, whatever you want to call them, big old companies, the dealer, everywhere, taking it to 4 different places, and a simple Google search got me to figure out what the problem was myself when they told me we can't figure it out, and they had my car for hours and days and days. But anyway, that story is a very long, dramatic story, and it gets worse and worse as it goes along, to the point where you guys are probably not even gonna believe what happened. But I'm gonna save that for another time. If you guys want to hear about that, comment down below. It's just like, I'm still traumatized by it, and it's just like such a downer story. But anyway, everything is fine now, and I want to keep it upbeat. Okay, so anyways, yeah, so I hope that next year is better. I hope the next month is better. I hope that every day is better. And yeah, this is my little whispered ramble chit chat with you guys. And I am seeing a lot of jobs that I want to apply for recently, and I'm getting a lot of interviews. I'm not having the problem that I had before a couple years back with the ghost jobs. I'm getting like a lot of interviews, so I hope that that has changed with the ghost job situation and things are getting better with jobs. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of interviews, but the problem is I need to find sort of a stable place to live, where I want to live, which is more towards like the Orange County area near Disney and stuff like that. More like South Bay. So I don't have like a stable set place right now, and everything is so expensive. So I haven't quite figured out what I'm gonna do yet in that sense, or how I'm gonna get back to the South Bay. But that is the goal, to get back to the South Bay. But there's so many jobs and so many good interviews coming my way. And yeah, I just